NineTen, NineTen, NineTen in the morning.
Yay. Hey, viewers of the NineTen podcast, whether you're a NineTen student, a NineTen leader, or maybe somebody who just stumbled upon this podcast and is checking it out. For the month of June, we're tackling some topics that fall under the category of mental health. So some anxiety stuff, some depression, suicidal ideation, and kind of tackling our cultural moment right now where so many of us are wrestling with this and struggling with it. And so interviewing a couple counselors, a couple people that have walked through this personally. I shared a little bit of my story in this month's podcast. And so I just wanted to give you a heads up before you dive into this, before you watch it or listen to it on Spotify, that these are some of the things that we're talking about. And so if this is a triggering topic for you, or this is while you're listening, you're wrestling with something, please don't wrestle alone. We would love to talk to you. Reach out to us here in NineTen or at North Coast Church. We'd love to put you in touch with the right people. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check out this episode. Yo, what's up, NineTen? This is my boy Stevy over here. We went to Biola together, sat in senior Greek.
Yeah.
And was teaching at the Jordan, so I hit him up, was like, yo, you gotta hop on the NineTen podcast.
So happy to.
Here we are. We are. Stevie, you're new to San Diego. Well,
yeah, kind of.
Not new to San Diego.
Yeah.
Back to San Diego.
I might have lost some of the San Diego flavor, though. I think if you leave San Diego for a little bit, you pick up the residue of wherever you're at. And then coming back, I'm like refiguring it out.
Yeah. So
California burritos.
You grew up in San Marcos?
I wish, dude. Escondido.
Oh.
I know.
Escondido.
I know. I know.
You need a passport to get in, or?
Dude, no. You need a passport to get out. They let anybody in.
Yeah.
Please, they're like accepting everybody.
Okay, and then when you left Escondido to go to Biola.
Yeah.
And then landed in Long Beach, Rock Harbor.
Yeah, because you were in Long Beach for a little bit.
Yeah.
We just didn't cross paths there.
I know. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Because you were at Arbor Road for a little bit.
I was there. And then that was actually how I ended up at Rock Harbor.
Okay.
Mutual friend of ours, Megan Fate Marshman.
The one and only.
Dude, it was her fault. Yeah.
Come on, Meg. Come on.
It was funny because she was writing for Davis C. Cook, they had a publishing company. And so I helped write a little bit for like a middle school bit for that. And so one day she asked for my resume and I was like, oh, I think it's like for this.
Yeah.
And then she sent me a link to Rock Harbor and she was like, hey, you're applied here. I was like, dude, you can't just do that.
You definitely can't do that.
No.
That's awesome.
But found myself in the interview process and they hired like a 22-year-old kid who had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I'm doing.
When you look back on those days, because I started the same way. I was like a Tascadero Bible Church, like tripped and fell into a junior high pastor position. Yeah. And I look back and I just kind of shake my head. Like, it's like, what were they thinking?
They weren't. I don't know why they shoot shots on like little guys like us. Like, we have no idea.
Snot-nosed kid, just clueless, entering into a position.
Dude, there were so many things. Like, you remember? Like, I mean, obviously, your 9-10 crew like wouldn't know, but like, I feel like when we grew up in youth group, like in like the early 2000s, like anything went. Like, I remember I was reflecting on when I was in a high school group and I was like, dude, we did stuff that like, so my pastor is my boss now, who's like my high school pastor, but he just
that's a beautiful thing, by the way.
Dude, it's genuine. If anyone wants to ever like work for Austin one day, like stick around. Yeah. It's a good time.
That's like me in 15 years hiring one of my 9-10ers to be an associate pastor at a church that I planted.
Dude, I'm declaring that right now.
Somebody, okay.
So you got to watch this, otherwise it's not going to come true. I don't know.
There's like 8 of them that watch, so it's great. You know,
then
the 9th view is my mom. So
you can hire your mom.
That's too true. my mom would be the best hire I would ever make.
I hear your parents are pretty legendary.
They're pretty great.
Yeah.
She did ISF, so
Biola
she
grad. Did? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense.
It. Mom did it. Wife's doing it.
Yeah. Is she in ISF?
Yeah.
Dude.
Paige is
wow.
Biola student right now. I know I paid Biola when I went there, and then I somehow found myself paying Biola again.
Yeah. You know? I'm still paying Biola.
I mean, same. That's what happens when you get a pastoral job.
You don't get out of paying that.
Right. It's something like 10 years and the government's supposed to forgive it or something like that.
That's what I've been
nonprofit.
Actually praying about.
Same.
Deeply.
I'm like, dear Joe Biden. Not to get too political.
Yeah.
Not necessarily agree with everything, but
no.
That
but
whole loan forgiveness thing.
Yeah.
Not mad about it.
No. I don't really think about the ramifications of what that would mean. I just kind of like
it's terrible.
It's fully selfish.
It's terrible. It's like billions of dollars that comes from where? I don't care. Yeah.
No, we're too much in debt that like it's just gonna be crypto soon anyways. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It would be all
Actually, I have
Bitcoin.
no idea about finances. I was a Bible major. So
Yeah, facts. You
Yeah.
just throw out terms that make you sound like you know something.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the key to
Crypto.
all good sermons.
Right.
Yeah,
Rightly placed words.
yeah.
That's 22-year-old Austin and Stevie talking.
That was
right there.
yeah. That's so true,
What do you remember from that Greek class?
dude. I hated.
Not like the Greek part, but
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
the class part.
Uh,
What are some of the funny things? Remember Andy or Victor Ree?
oh yeah.
I cannot hear the song. Your name is Victory.
'Cause he always-
without thinking of it.
And he had a little accent too. So I'm not gonna recreate it.
No, let's not do that.
No.
We'll all get canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, that he was I just remember him being so nice. Like he was the definition of being so nice that it's too nice.
Yeah.
Like a little too, like a pushover a little bit, like loved him to death.
Yeah.
But I just remember people being like, I didn't do my homework, and being like, it's okay. And you're like,
Well, yeah, but
"No."
I was that guy. Like I was the one.
I mean, same.
I
Same.
benefited from his kindness. Yeah, I mean, so that's why I don't remember too much of the Greek.
Yeah.
I mean,
also that was fourth semester, so it was kind of all fuzzy.
I was tapped out.
Yeah, same.
I was tapped out. I also remember listening to, gosh, they had all the songs to remember the Greek alphabet, or to remember like, because Greek was kind of like Spanish, like the endings of the words kind of changed, like the meaning of it,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like or if it was a noun or if it was plural. And so I remember like the song was like ha hey ta to te to, and it was like, do you remember that?
I was not paying attention to that
All
class.
right, well,
Yeah.
remember all the songs. So.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah.
I think Natalie Landini was crushing it, and the
Oh,
rest of
yeah.
us were just
Yep.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But are you a karaoke guy?
No, dude, please no.
Have you have you ever done karaoke?
Yeah. So when I transitioned out of being a youth pastor, they threw a party for me, and it was a karaoke party. I was like, why is this?
Why would you
Do
do
you guys
this to
not know me?
Yeah.
However, like I've got a mean like Blink 182 kind of nasally
Nice.
early 2000s pop punk kind of sound, and so
Nice.
I leaned into that pretty heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I lean heavy into that. What's the song? Oh no, the spider webs. Something about the. Gosh, take it. It's a Blink 182 song.
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Where
about?
are you? Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry.
Dude, exactly. Yeah.
So good.
Indecision to call you. Catching like spiders, catching things and eating their insides. Like indecision to call you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's such a good line.
Dude,
Catching things, eating
their
their insides.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
dude, they
good.
recorded in Carlsbad.
What?
Yeah, one of the guys still lives in Encinitas, and it was at Better Buzz. I was walking by and I looked and I was like, I don't even know his name. I was like, that's Blink 182 guy.
Oh my.
Fangirled for a quick second, and then I had a meeting, so I kept going. But
Yeah. That song it's my favorite song to sing when I'm by myself in a car, because I'll just get it.
yeah,
It starts out all moody,
yes,
and then the drop on that song is so good. It's just
Yeah.
where are you? And I'm so sorry.
dude, I love that you're hitting it. It's
so good.
yeah, that is
Them, Yellow Card,
Yellow Card, Green Day a little bit.
a little bit.
They were a little bit too emo for me.
My iPod got taken away for having a Green Day song, and my dad scratched it. I was pissed.
Dude, so with your iPod, what was the one thing that was like always on repeat, always playing? Like this was iPods before it was an iPhone.
Yeah.
I think the shuffle.
Yeah, on it was probably some Yellow Card song, like
Ocean Avenue.
yeah, Ocean Avenue or Breathing or
Yeah. If you guys don't know these songs, like
Ocean Avenue goes so hard.
yeah. I used to think that it was like up in like Laguna Beach or something, but it's
Yeah,
it's like Florida.
I know,
So
which is
it's so
disappointing.
lame.
But the fact that they had an electrical violinist in their band,
Yeah.
that was next level stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, mine was That Carter 3, Lil Wayne.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the only album I had. on not a good, I'm not condoning. It was just like I was on a cruise ship with my family. I was in middle school, and I had an iPod Shuffle, and it was the only album I had on it. 7-day cruise ship.
Just run it back.
Just
Yeah.
That Carter 3.
My favorite Lil Wayne line of all time is "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." It's the greatest line.
Yeah, that's what rap used to be. I mean, it is still,
Yeah.
but it's just like make a connection with something that shouldn't be a connection,
No,
but it's good.
but I just went lasagna. The G's silent. Okay,
Lasagna.
You got me.
Yeah.
Like, it's brilliant.
You have to think about it, but it's really not that deep and philosophical.
Are you still into rap, hip hop?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Gosh, dude. Man, I don't.
It's okay. You can say who it actually
Kendrick's.
is. You don't have to say Lecrae.
Kendrick
or something.
Lamar's new album is so fire.
It goes hard.
It's the one song though where they're just cussing at each other the whole time. I kind of always got a little.
It's
a little
a
intense for
bit
me.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, didn't they set a record for like most
Swear.
F-bombs in
Yeah.
a song or something? Yeah. I feel like Kendrick. I feel like I have to be in a certain mood to listen to Kendrick. Like I almost have to want to listen to something that's going to engage a whole different side of my brain.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're hearing about the world. Like Kendrick just has this perspective.
Yeah.
Like you're not just chilling listening to Kendrick.
No, you're thinking
At least
deep.
I'm not.
No.
Like, it causes you to, I don't know. I'm a J. Cole fan.
Okay. Yeah.
Big J. Cole guy.
J. Cole's great.
Lyrically, just nuts. So good.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if I'm listening to anybody else, dude. I've been hitting, and this is gonna be the most Christian pastoral. I've just been like Maverick City's just been on repeat for me.
How could you not?
Yeah.
The Worthy of My Song gave me chills, dude.
Oh.
When he first belted out like You Were Worthy of It All at the end, I was like,
yeah.
oh.
Like if actual
actual
goosebumps,
chills.
Yeah.
And then Phil backs him up with the
dude.
You Were Worthy of It All. And I
Yeah.
was just, Andrew Pulfer at the Jordan does a pretty mean rendition.
Dude, I bet.
I
I've heard
pointed
him.
that way because the edge is that way.
It is that way.
It's Andrew Pulfer over yonder.
Yeah.
But he kills it.
With Kirk Franklin, they just dropped "Bless Me."
Ooh.
Dude, that song slaps.
I haven't listened to it.
It's just got a good beat. Like you just want to listen to it and like that's a car song. You want to bob to it.
Okay.
And you want to cruise just like, it's 5 minutes, almost 10 minutes.
This is going to drop in July, so we're recording
it's
this
not
sometime
gonna
in
be-
June. So when you said just dropped, everybody's going to roll their eyes. And go,
Oh my gosh, this guy.
like
So
a month old,
irrelevant.
Stevie.
Nerd.
This is what happens when we get ahead.
Yeah, no, dude.
But, okay, hey, we got like 10 minutes left. I want to jump into, in our theme here in July, we're talking about how your character is formed through the difficult moments in your life.
Yeah.
I love the way Kip Strawbridge put it. He said, no good captain of the seas was ever forged through sailing through calm waters. Right? Every hardened captain's like, let me tell you about that one day of mile-high waves. And it's the rough seas, it's the valleys that really show us who we are, and honestly make us relatable as humans. When you're preaching a sermon, you're typically not like, well, let me tell you about this one time I crushed it. It's
Never.
Your relatable sermons are the ones where you're like, this is where I was miserable, and this is where I had my doubts, and this is where life struck in a hard way. What's that been like? Like you and I are both young pastors.
Yeah.
When do you turn 30?
Dude, I turned 29.
Oh, snap.
This Sunday, which
Bro.
isn't this Sunday for you guys. So
No.
I will be 29 by the time this drops. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 29, June 12th.
Did you know our birthdays were as close as they are?
No.
I'm June 15th, bro.
No way?
Yeah.
Dude, so you're turning 30 though.
Turning 30.
Ah,
the big
dirty
3-0.
30, man.
Dirty 30. Paige literally made me a flag. And it's an outline of my face.
As she would.
And it says Austin Hugh Payne's Dirty 30.
I love it. I love it. I can picture it.
It's next level. There's
is it like
stickers
silhouetted or is it like legitimately
no,
like it's a
it's
picture?
like a drawing of my face silhouetted. So it's like a cartoon me.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like me. It's kind of creepy.
Not like caricature. I don't even know.
I don't know how to say
You know,
it
like
either.
you go SeaWorld or something like that.
Yeah,
And they like draw.
No, not like that.
Okay.
It's more of like a cartoon.
Dude.
Kurt Adams, he's our head graphics guy here. He drew it and he crushed it.
Wow.
He did.
Dude, well, I
appreciate what he did
man.
for my jawline. I was like, thanks, Kurt. I appreciate you.
Yeah, as an accent, like the features.
Yeah.
The only
Anyway,
good ones
happy
we
birthday
have.
to you, too.
Yeah, thanks, man.
29?
29.
93.
93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you graduate Biola 2015?
I was class of 2014.
Me too.
Um,
I was just slow, I guess.
Oh,
Or
well,
you were early.
I was class of 2015. I was class of 2015, but I graduated a semester early, and it's not because I'm smart. It was because I just was like, dude, I'm paying too much for this, so
Yeah,
I gotta fast track
terrible.
this.
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Okay.
Your
So,
question though.
we're young pastors
Yeah.
in the scheme of things. I love the way Larry Osborne said this to me recently. He's like, "You're not a rookie anymore." He's like, "But you're not a veteran."
Yeah,
I was
it's the
like,
weird in between.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
good. I want to hold on to that because I don't feel like a rook.
No.
Like I've been doing this for 10 years.
You've got reps.
But I definitely don't feel like a veteran.
No.
Like so much to learn, so much in front of me.
Mm.
But I'm looking forward to my 30s in so many ways because you know how many times like you and I have been asked the question like, are there any adults going on this trip? And you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a freaking adult.
Dude,
Okay.
Yeah.
Calm down. Barely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've been adult at least for a year.
yeah. So now I feel like as a 30-year-old, I got a little bit of that. You know, I got a kid. I've been married now is for a little bit, and so it's like that credibility is starting to come. But even in a young pastoral career, like you've been through some stuff, and you look at those character forming things. Like why do you think that is? Why are we formed more by the moments, the hardships? It seems like the world's chasing the mountaintop, going like if I can just get there, and yet it seems like most of life is found or formed when crap hits the fan.
Yeah, man, that's such a good question. And that's the reality. I think if you talk to any old person, like anybody who's been following Jesus longer than we've been alive, for 30 years plus, you know, or they're in their 60s or 70s, they're going to talk about the times that they were forged in those hard seasons, you know, loss of a loved one or through the seasons where they were up late all the time or loss of a job, stuff like that. It's always the forging season. I think for me, my mind immediately goes to Psalm 23, you know, and it's, though I walk through the shadow or the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me. There's something about the valley that you can't keep going on your own strength. Like you come to the end of it. And so in the moments that I think we just get fully undone, fully exhausted, we realize our limits. Most of life, we can actually do pretty well. You know, it's like, I can wake up in the morning, I can drive here, I can do this, I can make money for myself, I can kind of plan this, I can write this check. You know, we don't write checks anymore, but we can plan all those things out. But at some point, you kind of come to the end of yourself, and I think that happens in the valley. So it's in those moments when you realize, like, I can only keep going because you are with me. And so I think there's a deep awareness of the presence of God that happens simply in the valleys. That I mean, carries you, and then you become aware. I mean,
it's an awareness thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to chase this a little bit with you because you did ministry in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And now you're doing ministry in Encinitas.
Dude, tough places, man.
Rough places.
It's like the
you
hood.
know? But one of the hardest things about doing ministry in places like that is you're talking to people that don't really need God.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy statement to say out loud. But when you're that comfortable and when you're that like wealthy, it's hard to believe that you need God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I'm in the valley, it's like I need something.
Yeah.
You know, I either need to cope with this, and that's why you see so much addiction, pornography, alcohol, drugs. It's like I'm in a valley and life sucks, and I need something to hold on to.
Yeah.
But when you're extremely comfortable,
Yeah.
what's that like teasing out the gospel? And I like I'm chasing this because I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts. It's like it's not like Fallbrook, Vista, Oceanside are like these impoverished developing nations, and Encinitas and Newport are these like, you know, like we're in a very similar boat of how do you become aware of God in San Diego, in Southern California, when there's so much of life where you're like, I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty comfortable. And the danger is to just go to him every once in a while when you need him. And he becomes this like genie in a bottle God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the reality is because it does sound crazy to say out loud of like, yeah, these people don't need God. And there's almost something that, you know, like you try to like lean into like, what's that, like that gaping hole that's in your life that, you know, only Jesus can fill, which is so true. But yeah, sometimes you're like, no, like I'm good. Like I'm popular. I'm like, you know, my parents make good money, and, you know, I like drive a Tesla, and I'm 15. Jerks, you know. And so, I mean,
oh golly.
I mean, if you do that, like, I'm so good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, there are some of those realities. I think in Newport, the reality it was so much more image focused, that there was the crushing weight of carrying an image. And so I think I found that you lean into that a little bit of like, that's really where, because Jesus speaks to everybody, and it might not be the exact same phrase that like will hit them, but scripture is scripture. It's God's word. It breathes, it speaks, changes lives. So, you know, for people who are under the crushing weight of image management and or, you know, there's all these things that are going behind the scenes that they can't talk about. And there's something about when you just dive into like Jesus' words of like, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest for your souls. Like that invitation, like you don't see that anywhere else. There have been incredible people in history who have been powerful, but they've been more like Hitlers, you know? And then there have been incredible people who are incredibly compassionate, like Mother Teresa, but those people would never have the audacity or the strength or the leadership capacity to say, come to me, follow me. And Jesus is the only person who can actually carry that weight, who can have the authority but not be Hitler, have the empathy and compassion like Mother Teresa, but then carry like that weight of image. And I think, so what I'm saying is like, you kind of find where are those gaps? Where are those areas that the words of Jesus, the truth of scripture, the reality of who God is, like we're all made in his image. We all have these aches, every one of us. And so it's just sitting down with you. And this is individual levels. This is also, you could say Encinitas, you could say Newport, but you could also say, you know, Johnny, you know, or that's a fake name, but like you could just find someone and be like, I'm going to talk to you for a while. I'm gonna get to know you, get close enough to your life that I can see the areas where Jesus' words are particularly powerful in your life right here. Yeah. And I think that's like the role of pastoral ministry. But Encinitas, San Diego, we're hobbyists, you know? So
you distract the crap out of yourself.
So much
distraction. And then you're good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm camping and then I'm surfing and then I'm building out my Sprinter van. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think that's why I love San Diego.
Yeah, because I wish it was me.
I know.
I wish I had a Sprinter van.
It's easy to hide from Jesus when you're busy all the time. Like that's the convicting thing for me, right? Like we'll literally go on a road trip and my wife's like, you can bring 3 toys. I'm like a kid, you know? I'm like, only 3?
Yeah, what?
So I got my golf clubs, like my surfboards, and like throwing the dirt bike on the back.
Great
like,
toys.
Please more. Like thrive in San Diego, but it's also easy to distract yourself to death and not pause and take that importance of that.
Yeah.
Reminding yourself of what life's all about, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I think that was the reason I think eventually fell flat on my face and came back to Jesus. I grew up in it, I knew it. And then the coming back part for me was realizing that so many of the things in the world, I think I grew up believing like these things won't satisfy, these things won't fulfill. And I chased to prove that wrong. Yeah. I was like, oh, you want to bet? You know?
Yeah.
And I think I found myself going like, these things are super fun, right? Like if you go and you party or you adventure, like backpack through Europe, whatever it is, it's like it will satisfy you.
Totally.
It just runs out.
It's like a Snickers bar.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It just runs out. It's like you need another Snickers.
Yeah.
Like you need the next adventure. You need the next car. You need the next like, no, there is no car fast enough. There is no house big enough. It just constantly, it will run out. Yeah. And I like what you said about Jesus is like, he's the only figure that can handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also been realizing that we have used the, that, you know, we kind of grew up with this idea of like, man, you're chasing like mist and vapor, right? You know, in the words of Solomon or James, you know, it's like you're chasing this life that's never going to satisfy. And that's true, but I don't think it's because we're aiming at the wrong target, right? If sin is literally missing the mark, it's the archery term. I think that I grew up thinking that I'm shooting at the wrong target. And I think what I've been realizing as I've been studying, you know, prepping for camp and stuff like that, but like I've been realizing, I'm like, we're all aiming at the same target. Everyone wants to be fully known and fully loved. At the core of who we are, I want to be fully known, like mess and all, and I need to know that you see that and you won't leave me, which is why we project our false self. It's why we project image. It's why we busy ourselves with toys and just try to distract ourselves. It's because we don't want people to see that internal brokenness we're all very aware of. And so I think I lived in this like sense of like, oh, we're all just shooting for the wrong target. Like you're shooting for intimacy, and so you're shooting at like the sexuality target, or you're shooting for like you don't want to be lonely, so relationships or like pleasure seeking, and so you're going to parties. But I actually think we're all shooting at the same target, but I think the imagery is more of we're shooting with broken arrows. Like the arrows are bent. And so it doesn't matter if you're shooting at the right target, your mechanism, your strategy, your way is wrong. You're going to miss the target every time. So we're shooting at the same target. And I think that's where I've leaned into of like, let's just name like, this is the felt ache and angst that we all feel. Same target. But let me highlight how our ways, your arrows are bent and how you're going to miss the target every time.
Yeah.
But let me just talk about when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. How I like that arrow. That's the arrow. That's the silver bullet, right? That's the thing that's going to hit the target.
Yeah.
And I've just been reflecting on that a little bit. I think that's actually the key of almost like in contrast. Like, let's just contrast culture. Let's contrast. Really, like this way of living, sure, it's awesome, satisfies for a moment, feels great. You can live in that actually for a really long time. But how's it working out for you?
Yeah.
And let's look at the way of Jesus, really hard. Love your enemies, die to yourself, like all these things, like the way of Jesus, super hard. And yet at the same time, that's the only way that we're going to be able to live with like the intimacy ache that we actually have. That's the only way that we're going to live with like that gap and that need for to be fully known and fully loved. So
good.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what I've been leaning into.
Bars. Well, Stevie, thanks, man. Good catching up, fun reminiscing.
Yeah, dude.
I got another like 18 questions for you, but we're over time. You got to forgive a couple old college friends for.
Dude, oh shoot, we really went over. Just cut the beginning portion.
It's fine. But thanks, NineTen. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me.